Hey, what's up, guys? So, in the news today, the Leave It to Beaver star Ken Osmond is reported dead at 76. So, I'm going to try to blast with this presentation. So, looking at the story and using date numerologies and this code of letters and numbers known as gematria, where you code numbers into letters, words, and phrases and get values, we're gonna blast through this. So if you're new to this channel, this is what I do here. You know, if you don't know what you're looking at here, I can explain it towards the end. But this is the alphabet forwards. A is 1, B is 2. Right here is the same thing with rules of numerology. This is the alphabet backwards. Z is 1 all the way to A is 26, and this is the same thing. Z all the way to A is 26, Z is 1, A is 26, but with the rules of numerology. So A becomes 8, because 6 plus 2 is 8. So the first few things that I noticed, measuring from his birthday, June 7th was his birthday. So measuring from his birthday to his date of death, his reported date of death is this 1111, 11 months, 11 days. So this 11 number, it seems like it's going to be like some sort of strong 11. I heard a lot of things about like this number is like, the biblical numbers and stuff, 1111, things like that. So I noticed right off the rip when you punch in, the way that TMZ writes it, you get this value of 144. So, talking about like biblical numbers and stuff, I found that quite interesting. So Leave It to Beaver, right? Star. Leave It to Beaver star. 293. 293 is the 62nd prime number. It was reported that he's dead on May 18th, but I wouldn't be surprised if he passed away yesterday, because it has a 62 date numerology. As far as the 22 goes, 220 can look like 22 because you don't count zeros in numerology. So the key digits here are 22, 22. And again, May 17th, which was yesterday, 5 plus 17 is 22. Measuring from his date of death to his upcoming birthday is 20 days, right? 20 days, well, death equals 20. Leave It to Beaver star, 76, right? He's dead at 76. Okay. So looking at this, right, there's a rule where you can go into the number calculation and you can turn off the number calculation. So when you do that, it only calculates the words, not the numbers. So there's a few interesting things here. So when you add the numbers, you get 137. Now also notice that I put the @ symbol, so that doesn't have a value. But I just found it interesting that 137 is the 33rd prime number, and his upcoming birthday has a 33 date numerology. And, yesterday, if he did die yesterday, it would have had also a 33 date numerology. So coming back to this part where you take the numbers off, you get these interesting values, 227, pi, 22 divided by 7. It's also a prime number. What's also interesting is when you take the numbers calculation off, it's reported that he's dead on May 18th, which is, the day that leaves 227 days left in the year. So I found that quite interesting. And, 227 is also the 49th prime number, so we'll get to that in a second. 139 is the 34th prime number. But let's check this out. So his date of birth, 207, days left in the year, 207, and he's dead on a date with the 27 numerology. So going back to the whole 20 thing though, right? Well, measuring from his upcoming birthday to his date of death, which is today, is 20 days. So that's why, death equals 20. And what's also interesting is the 38. So, his name actually equals 38. So let's just look at this. Ken Osmond dead, right? 52, his last birthday, 52 date numerology. 139, 34th prime, murders 34 and 38. Look, Ken Osmond's 38. He was also born in 1943. So that's quite interesting. 15. Yesterday had a 15 date numerology. Ken's 15, right? 26. Osmond is 26. Also, the 18th of the month has an 80 date numerology. Osmond's 80. So there's a lot going on here. Osmond is 80. 2 weeks, 6 days. So basically his birthday would be in 2 weeks, 6 days. So that looks like 26. And why is that important? Because his full name, Kenneth Charles Osmond, is 101, which is the 26th prime number. 59, which is the 17th prime number. Kill equals 17. A lot of strange stuff going on here, if you ask me. 229. You know, he played Eddie Haskell. 229. Now again, I have this here, May 16th, because I wonder if they're reporting, you know, that he died they said that he died today, which is the 18th. So, but I just like to look at other things, and the 137, the 33rd prime. So this is why it's kind of like important to see all this stuff. 43 is the 14th prime. So like when you come back and you look at, you know, all these things, you know, Ken Osmond's 43, which is the 14th prime number. And it goes on and on and on. But that 229 is pretty interesting, which is 229 is the 50th prime number. And let's see, Beaver, right? 26 again, right? 53, you know, his upcoming birthday, 53, date numerology. You know, yesterday, May 17th, had the 26 date numerology. So I'm starting to see all these 26s, and this is interesting too, the 37. So, you know, you got the 53 for yesterday as well. And I can't help but to wonder, you know, what's really going on here. So Kenneth Osmond, without his middle name, is 157, which is the 37th prime number. And, you know, the show that he played in, Beaver, or Leave It to Beaver, you know, 37. You know, he was born in 43, and that had a 56 date numerology. So it goes on to say in the article, you know, they mentioned his son Eric. So I'm just assuming that his son's name is Eric Osmond, but I found a 56 connection there. And, you know, Ken Osmond, 76, is 56. I think when you calculate the numbers, it's 56. When you don't calculate them, they're not. Kenneth Charles Osmond is 88. That's important because he was a policeman in his career time before, I think, being an actor. I'm not really sure. I think so, though. Like in the 70s, I think he entered the police force or something. So you got the 43 again. You know, the 47, right? 155, right? So there's a lot to say about this. We've seen the 43, the 14th prime. 155, right? Eric Osmond's 155. And the 47 is the 15th prime number. And again, Ken Osmond is 43. So we see a lot of these overlaps. So 47 is the 15th prime, you know, and if I'm right about him passing away yesterday and then reporting it today, this would make sense. The 15 date numerology. And again, he's born in 43, policeman's 43, and Ken Osmond's 43. I gotta plug my computer in. But, yeah, you know, so when we start looking at this stuff, you know, he's dead on the 139th day of the year, and that's, you know, it's a leap year. So today would typically be the 130th day of the year, but because of the leap year, it's 139. So, you know, it states right in the article from TMZ that he was supposed to be just a guest star on Leave It to Beaver, or I think it was Leave It to Beaver. Anyways, over 6 seasons and 234 episodes. So when you put the number calculation in, right? And it calculates the numbers. You get 139. So, perfect, you know? Perfect. And then we've seen the 107. 107 is the 28th prime number. His last name, Osmond's 28. 263 is the 56th prime. And again, you know, Eric Osmond, 56. The guy's born on a 56 date numerology. So, these are some movies that he starred in. So Big, which I found pretty interesting. 83 is the 23rd prime. Dead on a 23 date numerology. Dead on a 23 date numerology. Beaver's 109, which is the 29th prime. So Big is 29. And then, you know, I decided to add all the things that TMZ said he starred in. And you get this value of 961. 961 is the square root of 31. And 31 is the 11th prime number. So that ties in with all the 11s I was saying earlier. So then I selected it just like this instead of putting so big, because this is including all this. So then I basically punched it in here and I got 351. Now why is that important? 351 is the 26th triangular number, and we've seen all the 26s and 101s, and you know, not that there's a lot of them, but the point is what are the odds, you know? So Lassie, 50, 65, 65, 20, 43. There's a lot to say about all these numbers, but again, if you're familiar with this work, you already know. So 1943, 20 date numerology. Wagon Train, 50. We've seen 229 being the 50th prime. 65 for Lassie. Ken Osmond dead at 76, 65. 229. 229 is the 50th prime. Wagon Train. So, you know, Kenneth Osmond, 157. 58. Hold on. There it is. The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, 160. Today's date numerology, when you multiply it, has the 160, right? Unreal. Unreal. 155, Policeman. The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, 155. The Loretta Young Show, 91. The 13th triangular number. His birthday, you know, when he was born. 6 plus 7, 13. Unbelievable. 271, the 58th prime number. We've seen a couple 58s. But look at this. These are all familiar numbers. You know, it said that he became a policeman in the 70s, 1970. And again, his name equals 38, 20. Fury. Crazy, right? Ken Osmond, 38. Imagine that. Let's see, there it is. 1970. So it makes sense, right? How it all connects. It all connects. And this other thing that he's in. Petticoat Junction, 71, which is the 20th prime. And then I found this interesting, 223. Like Skull and Bones. And then I decided to do this, the 58. So here it is. 229, the 49th prime. You got the 58s. The 13. 130 looks like 13. You know, and then when you calculate it with the full, see I didn't take the screenshot up there, but get some interesting numbers. You know, 193, the 44th prime, right? Kill 44. 121, another 11 riddle. Unreal. Unbelievable. But look at that. 76-year-old equals 48. And 223. Kenneth Charles Osmond. 223. The 48th prime, you know. Sick stuff. 122. Wagon Train. 122. 76-year-old. 122. The Synagogue of Satan. 122. Unbelievable. Then when you spell it out like this, with the number calculation, you get some interesting stuff. 80. Just like how his date numerology of his passing is 80. I don't know. 91, the 13th triangular number. 13. Tarot card 13, death. Time. It's a lot. All these shows he played in equal 909. Kind of looks like 99, right? Dead at 76 years old. 99. 99. And, let's see, the 54 I know is important. Yep. May 18th, 54 date numerology. 76, 54, 45. But also what's important, too, is I remember seeing, I think, 1943, I believe, has a 504 date numerology. Just gotta check. It does. So his actual date of birth has a 504 multiplication date numerology. So that can tie into the 54, the day that he, is reported to be dead. So that's what I got for you guys. And, that's what it is. That is what it is.